can see splitting a cracker, but how did we split a peppermint? Welcome to Sawdust and Cornbread. This is Wednesday's Why, a day when I take a break from the DIY to share stories of inspiration from my life to inspire yours. Here's something they never taught any of us in school. No one has everything handed to them. Somewhere along the way, somebody made a sacrifice. Somebody overcame an obstacle. Somebody pushed through the hard times to get to where they are now. Way back in the Stone Ages, when my husband and I were in college, we had all kinds of adventures with his oldest brother. That's because his oldest brother had a job, he had money, he had a car, and we liked hanging out with him too. Everything from checking on horses in this pasture in the middle of the night to adjusting speakers on these ridiculously tall towers at a local amphitheater so the people in the audience could hear better during the performances. We got into a little bit of everything. There was even that one night when we learned how not to drive on a freshly graveled road. I'm not going to get into that today. It's a little messy. We didn't get in too much trouble. But one night we were out in the middle of a college town and we all were hungry. We had already had supper, but it was one of those teenage food fest things. We've got to have some food. And luckily, since we were in a college town, everything was still open. The only problem was that my husband, boyfriend, and I at the time had no cash. So we went into this restaurant and I was thinking, well, maybe they'll serve us bread when we sit down. You know, some restaurants, they used to give you a nice tall glass of water when you sat down, and sometimes they would bring out bread and butter. It was really nice in the good old days. Well, this one restaurant that we chose did not have bread. Yeah, that was sad. They sat us down at the table and my husband's brother proceeded to order his food. We ended up picking off of his plate because we were broke. We didn't have money and his brother just had money for his own food. But they brought out crackers with his meal. So we took one of his crackers off of his plate and we broke it and we were like, hey, this is our first course. So we shared a cracker and that was our little bread pre-course food. And they did bring us graciously a glass of water and 2 packets of lemon juice later and a little bit of sugar. Hey, we had lemonade. It was great. At the end of the meal, they were very nice and brought out mints. I'm not exactly sure how we split a mint. Probably he bit it in half, but yeah, I'm not sure how you half a mint, but we did it. So we had dessert. Sometime during the course of the meal, I even considered asking for hot water and mixing ketchup in there to make tomato soup. I don't know if he told me not to do that or I just came to my senses and realized I might be taking this challenge of a free meal overboard, but I ended up not doing the tomato soup. But it was a great night and it's such a fun memory for us. So why am I talking about this bizarre, crazy free meal that we had with my husband's brother? It's all about perspective. We didn't have money, we were broke, but we were out with his brother, with a friend. We had a great time. We accepted the challenge and made a great memory. And the same thing is true for whatever you're going through in life right now. You may be a young housewife stuck at home, you share a car, your husband works, and you don't get to go out that often, and the refrigerator's empty, you get a glass of nasty, over-chlorinated tap water from the sink. You drink it, you look out your window, and you may think, man, I wish I could run to Target. But think about this. You have a glass of water. You have a view out your window. You have a roof over your head. Those are things to be thankful for. It may seem like a pitiful situation, and you may seem stuck. You may feel stuck. But try not to dwell on the things you don't have or the things that you want. And think, what do I have? That's what this channel is all about, taking what you have and making it into what you want. Not everybody has everything handed to them. Somewhere along the way, somebody had to overcome an obstacle. Somebody had hardships. They had to conquer a fear. They had to overcome. And you can do that too. You have gifts, talents, and abilities. You just need to look inside yourself. Use those special gifts, talents, and abilities that are inside of you to turn your situation around. Begin looking at what you have instead of what you don't, and you'll begin to take steps to overcome, to conquer, and be successful. Things are going to get better. I guarantee it. Thanks so much for joining me. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video, it helps me so much. I'll see you next week.